absolutely unhinged psychopaths. So let's play this one over here as well, too. You can hear this.
Don't come on my page and say that people should be in this country legally. Don't fucking do it. This is ridiculous. It's inhumane. You are a human being, and don't you dare use Jesus's name or God's name in this and say that this is what he would want and pretend to be a Christian, because you're not. This is pure evil. You are scum of the earth. These are people. These are mothers. These are fathers. These are human beings. And all you care about is where they are geographically. Shame on you. Do better. Be better.
So this angry woman here with bunhead, I don't know why she's so angry. Maybe her boyfriend or whatever is an illegal and undocumented or whatever. But again, like another example of somebody that's on the side of, we need free, open borders. You can be undocumented, come and go as you please. Don't enter through conventional means like everybody else, is forced to, like my family was forced to when we came to Canada. Just do as you please, right? Like, what's the point in having laws? What's the point in having borders if you're not enforcing them or defending them? Another one that's diabolical to me, and you see this all the time throughout the week, with the United Kingdom, is there's always all these rubber dinghies that are crossing the English Channel, filled with migrants. They're not women and children. They're mostly African migrants of military age, fighting age. They're not families. They're not children running from prosecution, or women, running from severe or serious problems. They're mostly troublemakers. And you get the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom constantly trying to pick a fight with Russia and Vladimir Putin, one that the United Kingdom cannot fucking win. It's beyond me, like kicking the hornet's nest because of Ukraine. And it's like, dude, you can't even defend your own borders, but you're putting so much time, effort, and emphasis on trying to start a war with Russia and deal with Ukraine's problems, a country thousands of miles away, and you can't even defend your own borders. You can't, right? But again, us versus them. And there's always going to be this controversy out there because we live in an us versus them world. You define who us is, you draw a perimeter around who us are, and that's them outside of the perimeter. That's just the way that it is. And that's always the way that it's going to be. And there's no amount of shoving globalism, inclusivity, rainbows, whatever event, month, week, day, parade, pride thing that they're going to shove down people's throat that's going to change the minds of the masses. You're always going to subdivide into us versus them. You see it with sports teams all the time. People lose their mind over their sports team either winning or losing. Championships. You see it everywhere. You see it during the World Cup a lot, especially here in Toronto, because we've got such a diverse, quote unquote, population. Portuguese win, all the pork chops get together, they have a good time. The Italians win, soccer cup, all the wops get together, they have a really good time, right? And sometimes there's some fighting in the street, but there's clearly defined. You get the eye ties versus the pork chop sort of thing. And, like I'm saying that in kind because I have friends that are Italian, friends that are also Portuguese, but you will get these divisions. And that's the way that it always operates, right? In times of acrimony and conflict. And I think that they should exist because we are competitive. We must compete with one another. There has to be a winner. There has to be higher power. Like, they don't have sports tournaments, a football World Cup, for example, and everybody gets a fucking ribbon. There's only one team that wins. That's just the way that it is, and that's just the way it's always going to be. And it's the same thing with just about everything else in the us versus them world. So, I mean, you can deploy National Guard, you can deploy the Marines, you can deploy whatever the hell you want. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be people on one side or the other. If I go to let's see here, let me stop this because I did a quick search for LA riots. I just wanted to see what would come up. Present. Joe from Pittsburgh. I'll get to you in a minute. I see you waiting there. There we go. Let's see what pops up in the timeline when you search for LA riots. Like, you get these cartoons, right? Look, I feel for you, but you should have come here legally. It's a guy that's an illegal alien with a t-shirt that says illegal alien over here. So busts out the Mexican flag, has a spaz, microphones, masks, hiding their face. And then he says, did I change your mind? With the police car burning in the background. And then this guy goes, yes, I don't feel for you anymore, right? Mostly peaceful starter kit, so you get all these comedies about stuff. And 1992, like, I don't know if you remember, I'm pretty sure this is in reference to Rodney King. But we saw a lot of protests back then with the LA riots decades ago. And what is this over here? LA riots. So people rioting or protesting for 5 days straight. Like, do these people not have jobs? They don't have a life. They don't have anything to do. So now, not only do you have these people out here complaining and defacing property, you got all this graffiti fucking everywhere. Now you got to pay for law enforcement to come out to make sure they're not destroying property. Like, I don't understand all these people waving flags that aren't American flags. Like, why did you come to a country and then want to wave the flag of the country that you came from that's a shithole? What is this over here? Life hack for the Mexicans in LA. Start waving this flag at your riots and the politicians will support you. Yeah, you get a lot of this back and forth about the Israel versus Palestine thing. And it's like, I'm of the opinion, fuck everybody else. Like, fuck Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. I don't give a fuck about any of it. I don't know why we're supposed to care. This is another thing the globalists try to convince us of is, care about everybody and everything, right? Like, Greta Thunberg goes to Palestine and gets deported by the Israelis. It's like, oh, she's so strong and she's an idiot. She's a pawn of the puppet string pullers, if you know what I'm saying. When you see videos like this coming out of LA, it's important to remember Democrats are literally funding this. And they are. Like, they're encouraging the violence, the destruction of personal properties. It's unreal. This is a 1992 riot photograph. Again, this is around the time of Rodney King. And, looting again. Buildings burning. Looks like this guy's got a shopping cart with some electronics and some Huggies diapers and stuff, right? Police cars over here. Like you really care about the rule of law and authority, treating law enforcement like this? You fucking crazy? No wonder Trump deployed the National Guard. I don't blame the guy. They're throwing everything at him: signs, rocks, scooters, bikes. Look at this shit. And then they're like going and making all kinds of stones from concrete barriers that they're breaking up. That's nuts. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the Courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.